Welcome back, everybody, to 2020 SANDCAST, Beach Volleyball with Bourne and Travis Mewhirter, brought to you, as always, by our guys at Wilson. Nicolette Martin's going to be dropping in a new SANDCAST ball here sometime soon with the new optics design, maybe. So check out Wilson. Everybody needs a new bag of balls here for the new year, new season. And we got Falyn Fonoimoana in the house. And we were just chatting with you off the record, but you're just like a fun person to be around.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Instantly higher when you're in the room.
Thank you, appreciate it.
How we doing, Falyn?
Doing good. It's off season, grinding a lot, so a lot of soreness, a lot of, do I like volleyball moments? Because, you're going in the gym, you're in the sand, and you're high on your nutrition plan, so it's just like at every part of the day, you're doing something to get better for your season. So it's a lot of being tired, but it's a good tired.
Yeah. I think the most rewarding.
Exactly.
Kind of
Exactly.
I had one of those "do I love this" moments today in the gym. I texted my trainer. I was like, "I think you accidentally sent 2 core workouts." He's like, "Nope." I'm like, damn it. I was already dying.
You mean one to Trev? Or?
I think he was wrong, but whatever. I did too. Yeah, exactly.
I had one of those. Last Thursday was my hard day. We had practice from 11 to 1, and then we went to the gym at 2:15, and I was at the gym from 2:15 to 5 o'clock. And about 4:30 is where you get kind of lightheaded and you go grab that protein bar, and then you're like, okay, do I need a shake too? And you're just contemplating life. That was me. And then I walked out of the gym at 5 when it was dark, and I was just like, oh God, I love volleyball right now. And I have to go cook dinner and but that's the grind, you 2 core workouts or whatever it is. You're just in there looking at the same thing. You're just like, okay, talking to yourself, trying to get through it.
Yep.
I gotta ask, what do you do in the gym from 2:15 to 5?
That's a lot of different things. So I actually have my significant other is actually my trainer. So he has it all planned out, but I have a 30-minute stretch window, which I really optimize on it. And this has been my big year of I have to be more flexible. Like being a big girl, I want to be able to do more things and be flexible. So we do cardio for about 30 minutes, and then I time it 30 minutes. You're stretching, you're doing everything. I have a stretch band. Nice. Then I go into everything of mobility too in that stretch zone too. And then from there we go to core. Core is about 45 minutes, and if it's an awful day, it's an hour. And literally that last 15 minutes, if you're doing it, it's one of those where you're shaking and you're about to feel like you're pulling an ab, and you're not pulling an ab. It's just building muscle. And then that was my second leg day. So it's going to take me more time to recover than it is to do anything else. So it's a lot of recovery in between. So we kind of stretch it out to make sure I'm getting the quality reps, not just doing the reps. So it's kind of just a lot of that. Yeah. But it's I need Thursdays. I know that because Friday's practice was awful, meaning mentally, because I was telling my body to do something, but my body obviously wasn't responding. But the good thing is I'll know what to do when I'm tired. That's something that I'm teaching my body, and it's like you're failing, but you're going to fail to succeed. So that's what I kind of like about it.
Yeah, that's awesome though. And this is, I feel kind of early. You mentioned it was off season, but kind of preseason,
off season to preseason. I've had to mold myself because I had to slowly do it from off season into preseason. Because mentally you have to prepare yourself to get there. And I've done a lot of training overseas and stuff, and I'm like, okay, this is nothing. You're going to be okay. It's just one part of the week, and you just got to talk to yourself.
So what training? This is week 2?
This is week 3 now that we've gone with coaches. So it's practice, it's going to the gym, and it's also doing your full recovery every day. So that's me preseason wise getting myself into it.
I feel like that's something a lot of people don't realize. It's the maintenance, the prehab, the rehab, and just stretching in general is half the job.
Yeah.
Before where they're everyone does it differently. I agree that 3 hours in the gym, I was talking to Gabby today after lunch. She's like, okay, you're going to go work out? So I'll see you in 3-4 hours? Yeah, pretty much.
Exactly.
Because you're doing all that stretching stuff before, and then you stretch after, or you do normal tech or trainers and all that.
Yeah.
I don't think most people realize that that's a huge part of it.
No one does. I think that's the part that, no. And I'm just getting there. Because like if you don't do it, like volleyball stops to be fun because everything hurts all the time.
Yeah.
But like when you're doing the stretching and the Norman Tech and doing your like 3 or 4 hour gym sessions, like you can go to practice and be like, okay, like everything's not gonna hurt.
Yeah.
Because I did all the things. So then volleyball's like actually still fun. You're like every time you jump, you're like, oh god, my knees, my back. Shoulder.
Exactly. No, last year was my off season was like based on recovery. I needed to figure out because I was 26, turning 27 at the time. And I just started to get like little ailments when 18 to 24, you're like, woo, I don't need to warm up. I don't need to stretch. Let's just go. And, obviously I had a child as well. So my body was, trying to adjust to everything. So I made it like cryotherapy was huge for me. Mm-hmm. Anyone I've ever played with, you're in a cryo place with me, no matter where we're traveling to. I've looked it up. We're going in the boots and infrared saunas. Like you said, like an hour or 2 every day. I was like, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
But the huge part about it also is like I had to learn the kitchen side of it, like anti-inflammatory diet. I had to like what is going to work with my blood type. And I'm gluten intolerant and lactose intolerant. And, turning 27, it made it even worse. I can't even have cheese anymore. I love cheese. I used to be able to like slide just a little bit of it, not anymore. So I'm just... it's okay because like I got some 27 years of it before, but it's like, but now I'm just like, you know what, I guess, I can find different stuff. And now I'm finding, Trader Joe's is a great option, Lazy Acres. Now that I have all these things local, it's like, okay, it's not that bad. I can do different stuff.
We're lucky we live in California. That's for sure.
That's huge.
When we go to like the Midwest, they're like, what? You don't?
I asked someone for almond milk and they thought I had 10 heads.
They're like offended.
Yeah, they're like, no, we have 1% or whole. I'm
what
like,
do you mean
sorry.
no cheese on your burger?
We got a cow out
Exactly. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Well, it seems like you've done a good job over the years of like adapting, right? Because like since you were really young, you've been playing at a really high level, high pressure. But you've gone through a lot of changes, like having a kid at, how old were you?
I was 20.
20 years old?
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
And then you had to recover from that, and I'm sure that was extremely challenging, just mentally wrapping your brain around, like, coming back and rebuilding yourself and your career. On the beach, right? Because you didn't play beach before that.
So I played once in a while. So right after I had my son, 5 days later, I started working out.
Yeah.
So it wasn't lifting or anything, but like I told my doctor, I'm like, okay, so I had my son in August. I'm like, by like January 1st, I want to be able to like play high level volleyball.
Yeah.
So our plan was, okay, 5 days after, go do cardio and see how you feel. Mm-hmm. So I got to do 2 weeks of just doing cardio. Wow. And like, that was a mindset in itself because like, I'm 20 years old and I am getting winded from cardio. Like, what is going on here?
Never experienced that
Never
before,
experienced
right?
it before, and having to adjust to that. And I played beach. I want to say when I got cleared 6 weeks from having my son, I played in my first A tournament with one of my friends, Falyn Fonoimoana, and that was great for me because it gauged me on, okay, your legs are not where, you know, it's supposed to be, so you need to be doing this, and this, you know, and that was good for me. And I'm one of those people who push through things, so obviously having setbacks and everything, but that just goes to show you what the body goes through and what you kind of have to pace yourself. And being young, you never pace yourself. You're just straight go mode, you know? There's no recovery, stretching, or doing all this other. Exactly. So, you know, adjusting has been my life, you know, obviously going through, you know, having my son. And then I played overseas for several years. Indoors to play with the national team, went to the Pan Am Games. And then I actually retired indoor to keep my son for custody. So I had to retire indoor completely. And then I switched over to beach, but having to adjust and going through a lot of mental stuff just because, I mean, I didn't feel like I was done yet. I didn't feel like I was done being indoor. I was at my peak. I had just won a European Cup and then front runner here and this and that, had a great contract. And unfortunately, I didn't get to do that, but I made the best decision for my family. So being able to adjust to that, there was a lot of wiggle room in there that I could figure out life.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like mentally, you mentioned all the physical things you went through, but mentally, like, I mean, you were 20. That's pretty young to be, like, making all these, like, big decisions.
Yeah.
I was so immature.
Fast.
Yeah, I did. It's support system.
Yeah.
Being able to have family family that's your blood and family that has been there forever, family, friends, all that, they're still here to this day because they supported me, they challenged me, they pushed me. My mom had me in the pool, when I was pregnant, like, come on, you got to get back and play. So you better start going. And at first I'm like, Mom, I'm tired. We've been doing this for an hour. But I'm like, no, she was there pushing me. She was making me better. And mental side, 20, you have your best body at 20, you have your best years at 20. And, obviously I grew up and thank God he gave me my son because mentally it made me 10 times stronger, to be more empathetic, to be more personal with people, to be able to slow down and not just think go, 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 and really appreciate daily life. Yeah. And that was a good thing about having my son. And, I owe him the world because he literally makes me be better. He's everything that I am, but he's a lot more goofy. He's got the dance moves. He's got all this other stuff. And that makes me have to slow down and appreciate those things. So.
Is he talking trash like Mom yet?
He has certain qualities of that, but, I want him, he's going to be a huge kid and he's already athletic. But the main thing that I like to teach him is to be humble. Yeah. Cockiness only goes so far. Mm-hmm. I obviously I was a pretty good athlete, being young, I wish that I would be more humble back then, because then I would not have to deal with the repercussions of what I dealt with. But at the same time, I want him to be confident. He's a boy, so it's completely different. Right. I want him to have confidence. I want him to feel like he is the man. But at the same time, don't think the water boy isn't any less than you are. Those are things that you have to, there's no lines, there's no here, but this is, the playing ground. And I want you to be able to, realize that. Yeah. So I think he's doing a good job though.
So he's 7. Is he in first grade?
He's in second grade.
Second grade.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So has he come out to Navy P?
He has. Yeah, he's gone to most of the ones in California, and he loves it. He loves it, and awesome. Sometimes I'll be in a moment and I'll beat my chest or something after a big block, and he'll come up to me and he'll be like, Mom, I like that move. And I'm like, oh no, I forgot. And I was just like, you get to celebrate the good moments, and that's what I tell him. But I've always been a cheerer. I always had some fire in me.
You and Nicolette definitely had some fire.
Oh yeah, definitely. No, that was a whole other level. Sometimes we would go through tournaments having headaches. Because I felt like we were in competition with each other, yelling at each other and at the other team. Yeah. And, she's just a great spirit and heart, and you just want to just grind for her. And it was a lot of fun playing with her. Yeah.
You guys made semifinals in Austin. That was probably a lot of fun.
Oh,
First
awesome.
Sunday.
First Sunday. And the journey was, it was a grind. Yeah. We came in there with fire, with playing well, and then the second day, we had lost the first day. We had to play in the second day. I think it was 4 or 5 matches.
A lot in Austin.
And it was a loss in Austin Heat, and it was also just mentally having to prepare for 5 different matches. Felt like I was at ASC playing club again, playing all those games and having to adjust.
And 95 degrees.
That too. But it was playing all the different kinds of competition. We actually had an amazing game against Emily Day and Betsy Flint, where we surprised ourselves, where we were confident. It's kind of like we just yin and yang. We knew what each other were doing. We didn't really need to talk. We just were moving together. So it was awesome.
Yeah. Austin. Last time I was there, it flooded. And then the next, a few hours later, it was 105 or something.
Yeah, because that's the trouble with hot places. When it rains, it's cool for a second. Yeah. And then when it's not raining,
it's just boiling.
80% humidity.
Yeah. You feel like you're underwater almost.
Exactly.
But it's hot water.
Exactly.
You're in a jacuzzi. Yeah. The aguas calientes.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
That's a whole nother story.
Story.
That was wild. Last year we were both.
We were the same. Yeah. That's where I got those cute boots from.
Yeah. She bought.
Those were
Those are the boots that I got when we were at Aguas Calientes.
Okay.
She bought my daughter little boots before she was born.
Before she was born.
Yeah, before she was born.
Gabby was like showing you the video.
Yeah,
I didn't know that Gabby and Falyn were super close.
No, it made us close though.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but at the actual venue, it was a fair. So it had all different kinds of vendors and stuff. Yeah. So when in between games, if you're not at the cattle ranch, you're at our tournament.
They're selling
cows and everything. And then they had like belt buckles and all this different kind of leather stuff. And then there was cowboy boots. And all of a sudden I see on the top and it was like pink boots. I'm like, oh, try's having a girl. I just asked him. And I'm like, Nicolette, should I get him? She's like, yeah, let's get him. I'm like, how much is it? It was like $20. I was like, oh, that's fine. Let's do it.
They look like handmade.
They look so authentic. I was like, yeah, we're doing this. It's completely, but it was awesome. And you have different goats and horses and
I think that was my first like baby clothes I got.
Really?
Like, I mean, that was what, like
Mama Falyn.
I was the first one.
3 months before she was born. Yeah. Maybe I had some onesies, but that doesn't count.
It's okay. Yeah. I'm the first one. I'm going to keep that to heart now.
She just grew into them too.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm stoked on them.
Yeah,
she's looking good.
You got a good track record in Norsecas, though. You've
I love the Norseca. We won 3 and then medaled in all 6. You've played medaled in all 6, and I love the Caribbean in general. I played in Puerto Rico while playing overseas, and I love just. It's like my environment. I don't know. I feel like I thrive there. The weather's great. It's always beautiful wherever we go. I mean, Aguas Calientes wasn't. Like beautiful in that way, but the people made it great, and that's what's awesome about it. And I've been blessed with partners that I, was able to thrive with in those. And I also financially, I was like, okay, I need to get points first. Yeah. I'm going to do the Norseca, and financially, it's a lot cheaper for me to go here. And I wanted to get a partner where I could go do FIVBs with, and it just didn't work out last year. And now, being with my new partner, I'm able to do that, but we still kind of want to sprinkle in Norsecas because we had so much fun. So, but Norseca is awesome. I mean, you go through your trials and tribulations there for sure, but at the end of the day, it always comes out to what it's supposed to.
Yeah. And your new partner is Corinne Quagle.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of that team.
Love her.
And you guys have played a couple qualifiers, Norseca qualifiers, and 2 Norsecas, and you have only lost, 1 set?
I'm not really, I can't recall that, but it feels good out there. And she has a little spunk to her, even though she's like so sweet and innocent. I'm like, oh, you got a little sass on you, a little sarcasm. And I'm like, I like that. Am I rubbing off on you? And you can tell that she's confident as well. And we both complement each other, which is really nice. And, I've been blessed with all the partners that I have. They've all given me something where I can give to her. And I feel like that's kind of a mom statement, if that, but I don't really mom her. I really, I'm her friend. I'm her teammate. We're both, here on the same page. And if we're not, we talk about it. And it's a great start right now. And I'm really excited for this year. Yeah.
And when you guys started playing the Norsecas together, did you have anything in mind, coming up for the 2020 season? Or was it oh, well, I want to play and you want to play and let's just.
Yeah. So she actually texted me when I was in Hawaii, because I had gone to Hawaii earlier because I have family out there. So I was just visiting with them and everything. She texted me hey, you want to play in Norseca qualifier? I was like, yeah, let's do it. So after that, we kind of had one practice, and then we went into the Norseca qualifiers, and there wasn't really expectations because I knew that she was going to play or try and play in 4-star with her other partner at the time. So I respect boundaries. I don't really like to be oh, do you want to play next year? Yeah. Even though you have another tournament, I kind of wanted to see how we would do. I wanted to see how we mesh, in the same room together. All of those things are important because you're traveling with this person everywhere. Sure. There's going to be a lot of different obstacles that are going to come your way. How are you going to handle it together? So it worked out that, we got along great. We smiled, we laughed. We both had the same snacks and, random stuff like that. The small things came together. And after the first Norseca, I know I went home and I was like, I think I want to play with Corinne, but I'm going to wait and figure out, what she's doing. I don't want to put any pressure. And then we happened to win the second one. And then I think it was the holiday time, right by Thanksgiving. So I waited till Thanksgiving was over and I texted her, I'm like, hey, let's go to lunch. So I talked to her and I just wanted to put myself out there because I wanted to say, this is what I want to do next year. These are my intentions. And I think that we meshed really well. And I just kind of left it in, the ball was in her park, and I just wanted her to feel that it wasn't pressure. I told her I didn't want an answer right now.
Yeah.
And I kind of just left it like that, and I felt good. Like, okay, she knows how I feel. If it doesn't happen, at least I was true. I was honest.
Right.
And, we're still on good terms. So, it just ended up working out, and she was like, yeah, let's play together. And I was like, yes, I love it. We went to our favorite place, Chicken Maison, to have some food, and we were excited.
Yep. Love that spot.
I love it. It's awesome.
Is that what Spencer brought over for the Super Bowl last year?
I believe that was chicken Dijon.
Okay.
Different.
Different.
Versus MB.
Inglewood and Manhattan Beach Boulevard.
Yep.
Yeah, right by the 99-cent store.
You're close.
Rival. I don't think I've been to Chicken Dijon since I've been going to Chicken Maison.
Right.
New loyalty.
I have a loyalty to Chicken Maison. They know my order. They know how many garlic sauces I like. I stick to them.
Yeah. I'm a Dijon guy just because it's on my street here.
Yeah. It's too close.
It's very close.
Too convenient for sure.
I gotta ask this. I've heard about like all these lunch meetings with players. Like, how long into the lunch are you like, all right, let's like talk about what we're here for? Like, how much like small talk do you have to go through before you're like, all right?
I think we just talked about like the holidays at first and like how the family was, and I told her because I cooked a whole Thanksgiving meal. I told her like how long it took me to get the turkey prepped and everything else going, and then from there she's like, okay, so I think
she can cook.
Exactly.
So you're in.
Exactly. I think she kind of exactly. That was like the winner chicken dinner right there.
Yeah.
So, but there is sometimes it's awkward. I've gone to quite a few where it's just like, so how is everybody? And you like talk for 20 minutes, and all of a sudden it's like. Quietness, and what did you want to talk about? I try to get to the point a little bit, but
that's helpful. I'm
sure.
Yeah.
Try.
You mentioned you kind of laid out your goals. What were some of those goals and intentions that you kind of spoke to Corinne about that you guys seem pretty in line with?
Well, I wanted to play FIVB. That was my goal in general, but I knew that I was new to the beach game. I needed to figure it out. Like my first year was like, okay, get your feet wet with the AVP, figure that out, figure how to travel, figure how to get it paid for. Okay, next, if you can get to FIVB is great. If not, get to as many international that you can. And this year, I want to get, into some 3-4 stars, and obviously that's going to take some 2-3 stars in there too. But I mean, I've watched, my uncle, I've watched several of my family members and other people go through this whole thing. And I think I have enough experience and enough on my back that I can get my feet wet in that and see where I am, and I told her that, if I needed to, I would, choose a FIVB over an AVP at this point right now, because I feel like I need to push myself. I feel like I need to see different kinds of volleyball, because NORCECA's, you see different volleyball, but you need to see a higher level. You need to see Olympians. I'm sorry, but you need to get your butt kicked. You need to be, and that's not what I'm not getting in AVP, but it's a different kind.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And also, I would love to see the world more. I would, those are all things that I used to do when I played overseas. You get to experience different parts of the world. You get to be in that culture, and I love that part too.
Yeah, super fun.
Yeah.
So have you guys laid out? Because I know that there's a fair amount of FIVBs that you can get in before Huntington. Have you guys kind of looked at a couple that you're looking at?
We've looked at a couple. Now, looking at points was our next step from there. And I know we wanted to play in some country quotas as well. Right now, we're at the point of Corinne put everything on our calendar, and if we don't get in, then she'll take it off.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I like that. We know that's a good way to be. And if we're actually not going to Cambodia because she's a bridesmaid in your wedding, but I figured that was a priority. But it's okay. I mean, that just gives me more time to prepare and to have a preseason, and I was okay with that because that means I'm going to get more touches and reps in practice. But
I don't know if anyone ever has scheduled out their entire season and then stuck to it.
Yeah, exactly.
So much changes. So
much.
As of right now, we have the first 2 scheduled. I mean, everything's
Probably
scheduled,
the best way to be, right.
but we're gonna have to play it by ear based on our situation.
Yeah.
And, I mean, shoot, if you start winning a bunch of tournaments or doing really well, you're like, I don't have to go to this 2-star anymore.
Exactly.
That's definitely a crossed off.
Exactly.
Unless it's like in the best place ever and you just want to see it.
Exactly.
But yeah, I think that's pretty normal. Just wing it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's kind of how we do.
Yeah.
Figure out what your financial situation is halfway through the year.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think a lot of... I forgot what I was going to say.
Well, you started playing like full-time beach like 2018?
Yeah.
I know you had kind of dabbled Navy Peace, but I'm assuming that's when... What years were you overseas for?
So it was 2012 to 2017 I was playing overseas.
Okay.
And then 2018 was my first beach season.
Okay.
12
You
to
played,
17. That's a big chunk.
Yeah.
You did Pan Ams in 15?
2015 we went to Toronto, which was amazing. We got gold there.
Nice. Congratulations.
And appreciate it. I was a bench sitter / a scouter / but it was a great experience for me being on the national team.
Oh,
I got to be in the gym with Olympians every day.
Yeah.
I got to see how they grind every day. I got to see them work through all the stuff that the coaches threw at them every day. And, you know, at that gym, no one's good because everyone was here, you know? You can't say, well, I'm this and this. Well, this girl has 2 more medals than you. Like, what do you know? Like, it was never that kind. It was just a level of respect. But, you know, I also got to see Olympic year 2016, how it's survival of the fittest in that situation. And it's hard because the girls, you know, end in, I want to say January, February, if they go to China. And if not, they're done in April. And they're in the gym from January to all the way up until Olympics are done.
Yeah.
And that's grueling enough. They're not going home to see their families. They're not able to do all that kind of stuff. And there's also all the pressure because people are getting cut every week. You know, there's 2 people that go home and stuff. So that taught me and opened up my eyes so much more to just, you know, being able to love volleyball and play it for what it is. You know what I mean? And I saw, so the people on the national team now, I see Jordan Larson and then Faluk coming back from her baby, like all of these people going through all these different changes and stuff are still teaching me as well. So it's awesome.
Did you ever cross paths with Alex Kleiman indoors?
I did. Alex Kleiman and I went to the same high school.
Oh, yeah.
And
Costa,
then
right?
Costa.
Yep.
Yeah, I played with her my freshman year and she
Okay.
was a senior.
Okay.
And we won a national championship and a state championship together. And then I faced her my freshman year in college at SC at Stanford, and we actually took that game in 5 and made it to the Final Four. So we've known each other for a long time, and she's really grown in just volleyball in general. And it's amazing to see just her whole journey and everything, and taking that into account of what I want to do as well, and how she's gotten to the point she is now is, you know, what I want to do. So it's awesome to see her succeed.
And you crossed paths probably at SC with Alex Jupiter, who's
Alex
on the
Jupiter,
French national team.
she's one of my best friends. I've known her since I was 13 years old. Still talk to this day.
She's a good person.
She's a great person. Yeah.
Really good beach player, too.
Really good beach player. Really good beach player.
Heat.
Oh, yeah. It was awesome to be a tandem together on SC. That was something that was awesome to have.
Heavy arms.
Yeah,
Heavy arms,
exactly.
yeah.
We were the moonball team, you know. We had, I think the shortest girl on our roster, but on the court was like 6'1", and that was our setter.
Whoa.
And that was Kendall Bateman.
Yeah.
And the rest of us were...
Who was your setter in high school?
Kendall
I think,
Bateman.
Right?
Yeah. So we had the same chemistry, and we're all 6'4", 6'6", and you're setting this high ball.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, well, we have so much time to get there, and all little do you
Not if
know,
I hit
we're like
over you.
here, off the block, over the block. So
Straight
it worked.
through you.
And
Take all the time you need.
exactly.
'Cause it's coming with heat.
Exactly.
I feel like we... Oh, yeah, dude.
High school was a lot. Yeah. High school was a lot.
I feel like we crossed paths a lot because SC, well, somewhat, different timing, but SC, Puerto Rico.
Yep.
I also played on the indoor Pan Am's team at one point, and now we're on the beach.
Just trying to follow you, Try.
Yeah,
Just trying to follow you.
Yeah.
You have a lot of success. I'm just trying to get step by step
I was
there.
just going for the experiences, you know?
Exactly.
You know where a good time's at. How was Puerto Rico, though?
Puerto Rico's my second
Where'd you
home.
play?
So I played for Humacao. I played for Caguas. I played for Naranjito. I played for Mayagüez. And I won a championship in Caguas.
Damn, how many years was that?
That was 3 years. I played for 2 teams in 1 year.
Yeah.
I got traded, and I got more money as well. So that's why I also took it.
Yeah, that's
like, oh, we'll trade you and you give me more money. Yeah, let's do it.
Fine.
It's just, down there in this beautiful rainforest,
Exactly.
Why would I say no?
Yeah, and you're only moving like 20 minutes down the road.
Exactly.
It's not like you're like getting sent across the country.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
you are, but it's
but
it's a little island.
you're still driving that same.
Yep. I played in Corozal, and then I got traded to the Gigantes. What was it?
Gigantes?
Yeah.
Guaynabo or
No,
in
it's
San Juan?
Near there. It's near San Juan. I forget.
Okay.
But then the next year I
Guaynabo.
played in
I think that's what it was.
Guaynabo.
Yeah.
Damn, it's been that long. And then Ponce on the other side.
Ponce. They have a really good fan base.
Yeah,
there.
exactly. That's
really
what I was
good
going to
fan
say.
base.
The fans must have loved you.
Loved me.
They're so fired
They're
up.
so fiery, and I would do that little like
Oh, they would love you.
and oh my gosh, it was a lot of fun, and that's why I was saying like the Caribbean's like that too. They have fire
so much
and
flair. They're all wearing like neon shoes and sweatbands and all that.
I think the women inspire me to be even more confident because it doesn't matter what shape, size, height, anything. They're going out there in whatever they want.
Yeah.
It could be neon, it could be see-through, it could be net, it could seriously. And they're going out there walking with their kids and they have their, shoulders broad here, hips moving, and they're just going. And there's no worries in the world. We're on this beautiful beach. No one cares, It was awesome.
And in Puerto Rico, like volleyball is like the sport.
Yeah.
It's really bigger than basketball, I think.
Yeah,
especially
I think
for women.
I think they go with baseball because baseball's huge.
Okay,
so we're right there,
okay.
right there.
But especially for women, volleyball is huge out there, and like you're at the grocery store and like people are recognizing you, and they didn't. I guess they probably recognized me because I was the whitest guy on the island. But my buddy was like so popular out there because he's on the national team. It's like the real deal. You really feel like a professional athlete.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Do you speak Spanish?
I understand Spanish and I can speak it when I'm around it. It's one of those things where it's like you pick up and you get the words, oh, I can talk now. And when I'm home, I tried it. So my son was with me when I was in Puerto Rico.
Okay.
So I actually started teaching him Spanish and I had all the girls in the locker room only speak Spanish to him.
Nice.
So then he had to pick it up. So now when we're home, I'm like, go put that in the basura, or like what color is this? Like little words to like key it in. So I'm still talking, and then when I know I'm going back to a North Seca or something, I'm like Duolingo. Okay, let's do it. Let's refresh.
Yeah.
Because I like to talk to the other players. I like to it's that's the great thing about it is their culture. They want to be a part of you. They want to talk to you more, and I still talk to them all the time on DMs on Instagram and stuff, and see how their lives are.
Yeah.
Luckily, Puerto Rico, like, it's a territory of the U.S.
Yeah, it's Americanized for sure.
Almost everyone speaks English over there, so like you're not like screwed or like left out of full dinner conversations like I was when I played in Turkey. I was like, well, I mean, I learned hello, goodbye, and good night, and that's about it. So I'll just sit here until the one guy who speaks English wants to talk to me.
Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah, Puerto Rico was a good time. I was actually planning on going back like however many times.
Yeah.
Until I came to the beach and I got to play with Hayden, so I was like, all right, I'm gone.
Exactly.
I'm out. Yeah.
Exactly.
Luckily, he expedited my whole Norseca. I think we played in like 3.
Okay.
And then we were through.
You and Trev went back to Aguas?
Yeah, I finally got a Norseca gold. I never got a gold.
Was that the 3-star equivalent, or was that a different one you guys
No,
played?
you're thinking about the championship.
Jake and Taylor got that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's my fault.
So easy.
I threw away that qualifier.
Well, when I broke my hand, I couldn't play in that qualifier.
Yeah.
So just like on top of the Manhattan and the Olympic points, the 5 stars, I couldn't play in that either.
Yeah. So why did you guys play in Aguas? For like the world champs,
so
like a continental spot?
You had to play in a Norseca to accept the world champs bid or something. I don't know. It was weird. Yeah, they made up the rule because they want more people to play in Norsecas.
Yeah.
So like, I think to get the third spot, we had to. I don't know.
Yeah.
To go to World Champs, we had to play.
Yeah. Might as well win gold while you're there.
Might as well.
While we're on the farm.
Right, yeah.
Exactly. Bouncing balls off of the
The
cows and stuff.
And then they give you cash. So it was at a carnival. Mm-hmm. So like they're selling cows and all that, but it was also a carnival. And then they give you cash, tell you to take a picture with it. We're all like taking pictures in front of people.
Yeah.
And then would send us off into the crowd.
Yeah.
And we're like, sorry, excuse me.
No, you're good.
Sending us into a crowd with when they know we have like $250 or $500 in cash on us, whatever it is, for winning the Merseca. Good idea.
I actually told Nicolette, I'm like, give me the money, and I'm going to put it in the bottom of my bag, and I'm going to zip it up because I'm pretty sure they're not going to get me. I'm pretty sure they're not going to mess with me. They might try and tug on you, but no, it was...
I'm not the target here.
No, I mean, I don't know. I've traveled so much that I just, I know the cues of when people are trying to, get you.
Yeah. Nicolette, like
the sweet blonde, blue-eyed girl, Hi, even though she has a little sass on her, but she might have screamed if something happened and it was already gone. We didn't want that to happen.
Yeah.
We didn't want that to happen at all.
Were you, so you were overseas from 2012 to 2017, and then you mentioned that you kind of came back because you wanted to get full custody of your son.
Yeah.
Obviously, a great incentive to come back.
Yeah.
What made you decide to go for the beach after that? Because I feel like a lot of people just would have been like, okay, well now, like, the volleyball phase of my life might be over. Now, like, I can be a full-time mom.
Right.
Get into something else. But you made the decision to go full-time on the beach.
Well, I've always loved beach. I started playing beach when I was 9. So, like, if they had beach volleyball in high school, like, I would have done it. If they had, beach when I was in college, like, I would have played. But at the point where I was, it was that I needed to make money for my family. And, now that I'm home and I didn't have to play, or I can't play overseas, it just made sense to go to my roots and play beach.
Right.
That was always my end game, but it just happened to be expedited a little bit faster than I thought it would.
Right. And that first year, like, what was it like going back? Because, I mean, you had played a little bit of beach while you were overseas. I know you played a couple qualifiers.
Yeah.
But then going straight, like, to the beach all the time, I'm sure it's probably a bit of a change for you, especially, like, indoor. You have set practices and, like, a coach and team, and then you go to the beach, and it's like, well, do you want to practice tomorrow? Like, could you
so I actually started my grind with Alexa Strange, and Alexa and I were both super passionate and really just trying to get our feet wet and figure out what we could do. And we had Jaron Barreto as our coach, and we, during that whole off season, like, I think we practiced like four times a week, and then we played in every AVP next that we could. So we were, I think it was 4 months that it was either in Huntington or it was in Carlsbad.
Yeah.
And we did that drive like literally every other weekend just so we could get some points. And then we started winning them. I'm like, okay, this is good. We're getting somewhere where we know where we are. And then all of a sudden AVP started, and then we started qualifying, and that right there just showed me, like, I knew that I would be okay, but I didn't know how much I'd have to sacrifice.
Yeah.
I didn't know how much, I would have to financially put in there. Like, those are all things that are, question marks that you're just wondering. So, being able to have someone that was just as new as I was, it was something that was great for me.
Yeah. And I feel like you mentioned how valuable it was for you to be in the gym, like for the Pan Am Games, and just to see how they worked and grinded. Was there anyone in particular that you kind of like looked up to, and the lessons that you took, I guess is what I'm asking, from the indoor, what you learned from those girls and kind of implemented to the way you work on the beach?
There's so many. I've actually, there's... Going from all of them, like, there was Kim Willoughby, who actually wasn't in the gym. She was in Puerto Rico with me, but she was in the Olympics the previous year, and she taught me a lot of patience, which I didn't have because I was young. Like, telling me to be patient in the process, being patient on Puerto Rico is a stepping stone. It's not your end game, And then I went into the Europe world where I played in Poland, and I had come back for USA. I think we had some scrimmages or something. and Jordan Larson always went into the gym an hour before you were supposed to and stretched and hypervolted and not hypervolted, the vibrating one. No, the vibrating roller, the Viper was in there literally vipering for at least 45 minutes. And I started to like look at her at first 2 weeks. I'm like, oh my God, like, you know, and I was commuting from Hermosa Beach to Anaheim and she lived in Orange County, but I was like, I don't care. I'm going to get there an hour early too. Yeah. Those are things that now that I'm doing now, I did a little bit of stuff of that, but now I understand what she's doing because she's preparing her body and her mind for what she's doing for her work. Like, that's what people don't get is like that extra hour that she put in there. She's dialed in. Okay, I need to, these are my goals. These are this, you know, she's probably talking to herself while, you know, doing all that stuff and getting her mind, body, and soul ready. And that's something I took from her. And who else? There's so many, goodness. Who got hurt? I can't remember who got hurt, but there was a player in there who got hurt, and she was supposed to come in for 2 rehabs a day, and then she had to ice bath 3 times. And literally, I saw her for 2 years doing the same routine. And usually, like, when you're hurt that long, it does a lot to your mental. And she was always positive, always smiling. And what we didn't realize is, like, we were the ones helping her get through all of that. And what she was telling me is like she would log everything and she would like express her feelings. She's like, it's okay to feel crappy. It's okay to like, but I'm coming back because I need to do this because you guys are out there sacrificing your bodies for me. Mm-hmm. Like, and I'm going to do the same thing here. And that was for me, was that recovery right there. Like, I need a sacrifice for myself in order to be out there. Mm-hmm. Like, if I'm not going to stretch, if I'm not going to do all this stuff, then I'm going to be the one that's hurt and not doing all this. And that's what she was telling me. Like, I didn't do enough maintenance. I didn't do enough this in order to do that. So like, it's a lot of different people giving me so many different pieces, and I appreciate all of them. You know, I think Nicole Fawcett, I don't think I ever told her this. Nicole Fawcett was in the gym with me, and she actually played in Puerto Rico, but she was always super tough, like with all the newcomers. I never understood why. Like, she always gave me a hard time. And like me, I'm spunky. Like, I'm like gonna give it right back at you. And she looks at me, she's like, calm down, whippersnapper. And I was like, whoa, like, all right. Like, and then I had to earn her respect. I had to, and for her, it was teaching the ways of what she had to deal with when she was there. And also not thinking like, you're not the best here. You're going to have to, you know, accommodate to us and make sure that, you know, and she also, you know, took me underneath her wing a lot too. And that's where something of, you know, my middle name is Talei and it means tough love. She gave me a ton of tough love. And that was like my love language there. It's like she gave me you know, she made me work for it. And all of a sudden, you know, she made me, you know, understand a lot of the things that I needed to know, you know, being in the limelight of the national team and understanding that it's not just about you, it's about us. And there's a lot of different things that I never had before. So it was awesome.
I think one of, I haven't seen you play a ton, but I think just looking at the success you've been able to have, like so many different partners and just the personality you have on the court, I feel like one of your better traits is you're just like a great teammate. You know, you've won with Nicolette. I think you won in Norseca with Molly Turner.
I did,
and then you got third in P1440 Huntington, right?
We sure did.
You and Alexa had a great run. You and Pri had some good tournaments. You and Corinne are 2 for 2. I feel like that's such a hard thing to have, especially for someone who was so good at volleyball growing up. Like, where did you learn how to be such a good partner and a teammate despite usually being one of the best on the court?
So you have to know that you have to be crappy in order to be good. I was a crappy teammate when I was young because I only thought about myself in the sense of like what I have to do to benefit the team. Mm-hmm. How can I make the team better? Like, what do I need to get kills. I need to do this. I didn't look outside myself. And that hurt me in the end because they're like, you don't even care about us. Like, you don't even, like, I would get upset because like I'm a 6'4" girl and I'm diving and getting a ball up, and I would get mad because they wouldn't give the same effort. Yeah. My mom would have to give me like the talk, like, you can't expect the same from them. They're not you. So I had to realize that, and, you know, I was crappy at the end, and, you know, I still have teammates. I'm like, you know, I'm sorry for being so crappy. Like, I was young and dumb and thought I was, you know, a little bit better than I probably was. But, you know, at the end of the day, like, I wouldn't trade those days for the world for those girls. You know, I still see them to this day, give them lots of love, and, you know, cherish those moments because you spend forever with them. You know, you traveled everywhere in club, in high school, all that kind of stuff. And I think also it comes back to being a mom. You know, I had to adjust to my child. I had to understand who he was, what he was going to give me. Right. I mean, love is
no longer about you.
No, it's no longer about me anymore. Yeah. And that's where in my partners, like, you know, I don't judge. Number one thing is I don't judge you. Your life is separate from what we have here. You know, what you choose to do is what you choose to do, as long as it doesn't affect us. You know, that's not my business, you know? And the other thing is, like, always be honest. That's another thing that, you know, I always talk about with my teammates. And if you can't be honest, at least let's find a ground where we can kind of, you know, step by step get there. And third is love. Like, it has to be a lot of love. Like, you know, everyone calls me mom or mama for a reason. Yeah. Like, I teach them recovery. Like, I bring, you know, magnesium. I'm bringing, if you get constipated, I have, like, the stuff to bring. Like, I literally, they used to make fun of me because I had a huge suitcase, but it's all of the remedies or anything that if you're sick or something, like, maybe you don't need a big suitcase of stuff, but at least have, like, a bag where you can be ready for A, B, C, D, E, F, G that could happen while you're traveling.
Toilet paper, you're gonna want to.
Yeah, you need wipes. You need wipes. Like, seriously, like, all of those things happened, and you know, I try not to be too much like, you need to do this and that. Like, no, it's just like, hey, I have all this stuff here. Like, I have electrolytes. I have this. Like, if you need it, if I see them struggling, I'm like, okay, drink it. Like, you look a little tired, or you haven't drank enough water today. And it all comes from, you know, things that I've experienced, and it comes out of love. I love every single one of my partners that I've played with, and I still talk to them. I still care about their lives. I still like, oh my God, like Nicolette got a puppy, or Pretus had a 40th birthday, or like I'm invested. It's not because, you know, and this is something that, like, I didn't want to come across is just because I play with a lot of people, it doesn't mean that I'm difficult. It just means that our goals or something has shifted where we're not a priority anymore. It doesn't mean that you're a bad person or anything else. It just means that life happened. You know, and that's something that people don't realize. And it's a business. It's not personal. And that's something that I always, you know, wanted them to know is, like, I still love you. I still want to hang out. I still want to give you love when I see you. Like, I hope you, or if I can do anything to help you, you let me know. Yeah. You know, that's something that's important to me.
Yeah. I think you've gone through a lot of these experiences at a young age. So, and these are experiences that everyone's going to go through eventually. Yeah. But you've kind of gone through it early. So people probably are drawn to that, like, oh wow, she's kind of going to show me the way, and like, she's already been there, done that, and gone through a lot of these hard things. Yeah. So I'm sure that's a good energy to give off.
I'm trying. I'm still learning. I'm still learning.
I'm learning too. I was getting advice on babies a few months before. I was like, I mean, I don't know. I'll take all the advice I can get for sure. You think that having a kid was that main turning point that you were talking about?
I think that was a huge part of not just growing up, but finding who I am as a person, who I wanted to be. You know, being young and volleyball just being everything for me, I didn't know what outside of volleyball life was. You know, I got to experience what life was and what I liked, and who I wanted to be was based off not just being a parent, what kind of woman I wanted to be, what kind of friend, what kind of spouse. Like, these are all things that came into fruition once it happened, because I have to show him who he wants to be through my actions. And I wanted it always to be positive, and I always wanted him to see something that was organic. And that was huge for me. I don't want him to see something that's forced, like, do as I say, not as I do. Like, that's something that I didn't want to happen. And you know, I'm still young. I'm only 27, so I'm pretty sure things are going to change, and I'm going to change a little bit, but I'm really happy on where I've come at a point where I love my life. I'm confident within myself. I get to help people, and I also get to learn and be open-minded about things, and, you know, I love those types of experiences.
Yeah, and the cool thing about beach volleyball is that, like, 27 is like a rookie still, you know?
Exactly.
Like, I'm 30 and I feel young. mostly because all these old guys are sticking around so long.
Yeah, you're still
Whereas like indoors, we would be like, or I'm 30.
Yeah.
But 30's like, you're a veteran.
Yeah.
You're like maybe
on your way out.
Kind of thing,
Exactly.
Right? Yeah,
exactly.
It's exciting.
It's been fun having like parents come on the show. Like Kim DiCello came on pretty soon after she had her baby, and she was just talking about how like all the changes that, not necessarily physically but mentally. She's like, I used to just be this like ruthless competitor, and like I'd be like kind of hard on my partners, and then like I had this baby, and I was like, oh my gosh, like it was like this like light bulb moment, and she was like, well, now winning and losing isn't the end of the day. It's just like I get to go home to like my baby boy.
Yeah.
It seems like you've had like a very similar experience. Not that you were like a ruthless competitor.
I mean, I am a ruthless competitor. Don't get me wrong, but it's a different way. Right. It's one of the wins than the losses, and I think right now I'm willing to sacrifice wins and losses for experience. I think that's something that's huge for me this year. Is I want as much experience. I want as much opportunity. I want to dabble my feet in whatever I'm able to get into, because then I'll really know, like, okay, you want to be a high level player. Well, you're, either you're going to sink or swim. And I've always been that kind of person. And I don't think I'm going to sink, but, I don't think I'm going to swim right away. And I'm okay with that. I mean, that's part of, and this is what I tell the kids that I coach, like, you have to fail in order to succeed. Like, you got to do the rep like 10 times, and 8 times you're going to fail. And the last 2, it's not going to be like perfect, but it's going to be like somewhat in the direction you want it to be. Yeah. And I want to do that this year, which I don't think Corinne's going to let me fail so much, but I think she is on the same page as that as well for me. And, being young, it's now or never for me, and I don't want to wait. I want to see what the volleyball world has to offer and what I can, I also want to add to it. I want to, there's not many, 6'5" big bone girl like me that's out there. And, that's a huge part for me too, is to show girls and, even boys, there's not one size. There's not one, tone. There's not one look. There's not one color. Like, as long as you work hard, as long as you do all these things, like, you can do it. Yeah. That's a huge part for me too, is, I get a lot of DMs, and it warms my heart because I'm doing it the right way. Yeah. It shows me that, people look at me like, oh, how do you wear a bikini, be so confident? Like, hey, I've been wearing a bikini since I was like yay big. I've been on the beach at the AVPs, shagging balls. Like, it's just a part of me, but I take it for granted sometimes, not thinking about it. And that's where, if you see my social media, I try to uplift people because, it's a cold world out there, and people get lost. And unfortunately, the volleyball world, we've had, a lot of mental illness happen. And, I've been a person where, I've been in a dark place before, and I just had great people around me to uplift me. And working out in volleyball just happened to get me, right out of it. Sometimes it doesn't happen that way. And you gotta, and not to judge people, but you gotta be able to extend yourself a little bit. And, the platform that we have is amazing, that we get to be able to, even if it's like one person a day or one person a week or even a year, you affected one person and you're able to help them, whatever they're going through, whether it be nutrition, whether it be working out, whether it just be like, can you talk? Yeah. Let's talk. What are you going through? Yeah. Like, not to be nosy, but just, maybe they just need you to listen. Right. Yeah. So that's a huge part of, probably also why my partnerships work, is I'm a good listener. Yeah. I like to, even if it's stuff at home or stuff that probably doesn't need to be told to me, it's going to lock here. I'm not going to tell your secret. Yeah. Let it out, we're good. I got you. I got you. And that's something that I'm grateful for, that I can be that for someone or whoever that needs it. And, I try to extend my boundaries sometimes because, I know that sometimes I try to be like, okay, don't go too far here. Don't talk about politics. Don't do this. Don't do that. But like, I am who I am, I'm not going to change that. But at the same time, I'm going to stay within my means and help people that way, for sure.
I love it. I love your spunk. Like, anytime you come to the beach is just in a better mood because of it. So we appreciate that.
No worries. I try to bring a little bit of fire. That's a lot, more smiles than anything else. When you take yourself too serious, you're probably not playing too well. Yeah. But if you're smiling, you're probably at your, your top, you're having fun and you're in your rhythm grooving. That's probably the best to be.
Yeah.
it's kind of in your bloodline too, right?
Yeah.
So you've been watching this tour since you were younger.
Yeah.
Do you have fond memories of watching your uncle play?
I mean, I have fond memories of like everyone playing.
I more family than Eric?
There's Eric, there's Albert Hanneman, Nikki Hanneman, Mark Powell Louie.
Cousins.
Oh, okay. Wow,
Yeah.
I didn't
So we're all connected.
Yep.
We're all from the same island. True Polynesian family. We're all connected through something. But yeah.
I probably know like half your other relatives that are back in Hawaii.
Probably
you probably walk by them 100
all
times.
the time.
Yeah.
No, I was lucky enough to be able to see the best in the world, like Fred Souza, Jose Loyola, and Genio, and there was one more, Akatubby.
Oh, yeah.
All of these people, literally, like Akatubby, I could say I'm probably the most like when I play.
Okay.
He was so loud and so spunky, and I may not talk as much crap as he does, and I talk a lot of crap just to have fun.
He was like friendly though.
Yeah, you know? he was going for your soul. Like he was dark and like you thought Rosie Raiders were bad. Like he was like in there just like I'm in your head and I am going for it. Like that was him. And the things that I remember is Rosie Raiders. Rosie Raiders used to go to every single tournament.
Yeah.
And I remember Rosie Raiders. I forgot who he was playing with. I was playing against my uncle and Dax Holdren. And I was shagging, I think it was in Santa Barbara. And I remember that I forgot what they were saying. They were chanting something. They were totally heckling him. And I told him, I'm like, why are you being so mean? Like, he's a really nice guy. Like, he's like, honey, no. We're trying to get in his head. It's okay. It's okay. I'm like, okay, all right.
That's really
and
funny.
I'm like, what is he doing? And they were just chanting. And every time he served, like, you know, some guy would have a high-pitched scream at the time. Like, I had to learn it. That was
from the best.
Yeah, that was the old school. And, you know, my godfather was Steve Obradovich, and he was, he was, he can talk, and he actually coached me, and I didn't get to see him play, but just the stories that I've heard of him was just to the point of there was no coming back. They wanted to escort him off the beach. So, you know, I've gauged myself in that way, but I think, you know, Fred Souza, he was an amazing blocker. That's someone I remember. I remember he got 4 blocks in a row in one rally. Oh, you know, those are things that just instant come into my head. And I remember when Carrie and Misty was first couple years coming out, and they were playing against Jenny Johnson-Jordan and Annette. And I remember the rallies were endless. Like, it was kind of like they knew what was coming, and they at least 6 touches over the net for 1 point. I was just like, they must be so tired. Keep making reads. I mean, Misty was amazing. Carrie was amazing. Jenny, Annette, just being able to watch that and the passion they had, and like they're dying and like, but they're like, they're still going. They learned how to maintain it and going right back for the next play. Like things like that just showed me grit, showed me how to be, you know, tenacious. And if you really love it, then you're going to give your all. And, you know, no matter how tired you are, you're going to go win that next point. Not the game, that next point. Yeah. That was the whole thing. Like, don't think about the whole game. Like, they went point by point just to win that gruesome 2 out of 3. Mm-hmm. So that was, for me, is just teaching me to, you know, be tenacious in that point by point and wanting everything. That's probably why I roar when I like hit over on 2 or something. I'm like, yes, that's the point. You know, that 1 point you work so hard for, you know, you really just, you got, it's a step-by-step thing, you know?
I try to check myself and make sure that my energy's up high. Or I guess I notice that I'm playing better when my energy's high, and I'm kind of talking, whether it's productive or not. It's like good for me. You know? How about sharing the name Fonoimoana with your uncle and the prestige that he's put on that? How's that been?
I mean...
for those of you who don't know, we had Dane on a few weeks ago, so you guys should know who Eric Fonoimoana is. Dane's partner, they won the gold in... 2000? Sydney. Yeah. No, our whole family is full of athletes, and the bar was raised high at a young age. So, I mean, my aunt is also an Olympian. She was a butterfly swimmer. Wow. And then all of my uncles played multiple sports. I think my uncle Scott made the Olympic team, but got hurt for water polo. Wow. So my mom was a great volleyball player. You know, everyone
did something. That was your job,
Yeah.
you know, and being able to share that name is huge, you know, just going to Hawaii, like everyone from, you know, everyone knows who our family is and how much. So for me, it's a pride thing, and also wanting to represent my Samoan and Hawaiian side, and make sure that I'm doing it the right way, you know, and there is never a right way. That's, first of all, that's what I learned. And also being able to look at yourself in the mirror and be like, okay, did you grind today? Did you do all these things? Because that's what they did. You know, it's kind of like your ancestors going down to them and everything else, you know, trying to make them proud in my daily life and who I am and what kind of mom I am. All that kind of stuff I kind of put in with my Fonoimoana name. And I mean, it obviously my end goal is to go to the Olympics and do what he did. So being able not just to live up to him, but being able to live up to my goal, being able to live up to everything. Great accomplishments are awesome, but just being able to say, like, I live this life and I did it my way. Yeah. That's a huge part.
Yeah. I was going to ask what the end game would be. So
gold medal, I mean,
Uncle Eric.
Yeah, I mean, not only matching, but I'd like to get a couple. You know, I'm young, like we just talked about, and
gotta pass him.
I mean,
it's too competitive.
Exactly. I mean, this is not Kobe versus LeBron here. We're not. But no, I'd love to go as far as my body will take me.
Yeah.
And that's my huge part, is to make sure my body's good and make sure you know, if anything from body to family is not okay, then that's where I have to look at my life. But from this point right now, the goal is to go to the Olympics. The goal is to maybe go to a couple and, you know, maybe do as well as, you know, obviously he'll take me my path, and, you know, I'm just here for the ride. Literally, I'm here to grind, and once he says jump, I'm going to jump on that train, and I'm going, and I'm not going to ask any questions. That's where that opportunity comes. So I'm ready when it's ready for me.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. So what's the first step for you and Corinne this year?
We're looking towards an FIVB Australia. Okay. That's our first. I think so. I think it's a 3-star. And right now, I think also is to get to know each other more. Yeah. You know, that's a huge part. Like, obviously, we've played in some tournaments and everything, but I like what our coaches are doing to us right now, and that's basically mentally making us think a lot. I like mentally being pushed. Like, obviously, physically, we talked about me training a lot, Corinne's training a lot, legs being tired, but mentally, if you can engage me where I have to, you know, think about other things instead of already having a solution, I'm winning already, because I don't have all the answers. I have to think, you know, on the fly what's going on, because that's what volleyball is. You're not going to have all the solutions. It's going to be on the fly, and it's going to be trust and all that kind of stuff. So that's where we are right now. And you know, hopefully some more pop up where we can go from Australia to some other ones. But right now we're just leaving it in the air and we're training hard.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
So good.
Well, Falyn, thank you tons for coming in.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
2 hours of stretching to get to, and you got a baby.
You got a kid.
So we don't want to keep you too much longer.
No worries.
Appreciate you coming on and keeping morale high over here.
I almost died halfway through. I had a
I don't know if you saw me like looking over the ledge, like, hi Mick.
Falyn, do you have a cough drop?
Monster, you know, what are we doing here? Grab the gallon, it's on the counter.
Gosh. I had to leave or I was going to ruin the recording.
We do have one final question, though, that we ask our guests. We switched it up. So our new final question is, what is your why in beach volleyball?
What is your why? My why is my son. Why I do it. Why I wake up every morning early, you know, to make sure that I even get me time to be sane, to make sure I think about my day, make sure like I'm there, and he's amazing, you know. And we talked, it comes back to, I want him to be better than me. I want him to have more opportunity than me, and I have to build that path. And if I show that discipline and everything I do in that aspect is for him. So my why is Tavoi. He pushes me in everything I do, and his grace and his patience, and also just his kindness. I teach him all the time, it's free to be kind. And, you know, he teaches me, he teaches me sometimes when I get pissed off at myself. He's like, Mom, just be kind to yourself. Like, it's okay. Moms mess up too. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, you're so cute. Like, the fact that you're telling me this right now. But no, he's awesome. And, you know, obviously when you have kids, they teach you so many life lessons, but he's just able to teach me how to keep going. And that's a huge part for me. You know, it's not just keep going in volleyball, it's life. It's how to be a better, you know, obviously, you know, he told me he wanted me to bake a gluten-free cake, and I was terrified at like a year ago because, you know, you're learning different stuff and, you know, but you do it and it tasted awful. And then I got better because we wanted a gluten-free cake. I wanted to get better, and he pushes me in that kind of aspect, which is my comfort level. And there's not a lot of things that I'm not comfortable with, but there's different aspects that you don't think about. So my Y is my baby. Love that boy.
Awesome.
Awesome. Well, thank you again for coming in.
No worries.
I'll see you every Tuesday.
Thursday. Definitely.
All right.
Sounds good.
Shoots.